This tutorial will analyze engagement and retention methods for graduate learners. Student engagement and retention has become an issue of increasing concern for higher education institutions. You might find, upon first teaching a graduate class, that your students are more ready to engage with materials and present their own ideas and theories. The willingness of students to speak out and indeed speak with some authority often invites a constructivist approach to teaching, where knowledge is built by active student participation instead of passive student learning. Therefore, you may wish to plan lessons in a way that gives more time and agency for students to converse, share, and even debate. Even though graduate students differ greatly from undergraduate in terms of their motivation and background, they ultimately learn in the same way. Here are a few strategies for engaging graduate students. First is to utilize pedagogies of engagement. Utilize pedagogy strategies such as cooperative learning, problem-based learning, and project-based learning for students to get actively involved in their learning at a graduate level. Another opportunity to engage graduate students is to incorporate opportunities for communication. Find ways to communicate and build relationships with graduate students. Establish a time in class to meet with students one-on-one to discuss course-related materials, which builds rapport. That can encourage students to feel comfortable reaching out to you more frequently. You could also leave the online platform, either Zoom or other means, open 15 minutes before and or after the class session so you can speak freely with students. Consider rephrasing how you refer to your office hours with a more approachable and appropriate term, for example, student hour, scholar hour, or the like, to encourage more students to meet with you virtually. Move your in-person communication to a virtual or phone platform to meet students where they are. Simple check-ins via phone calls, emails, or individual Zoom meetings can still build rapport and remind your students that they matter to you. You can also provide feedback. Instant feedback serves to reinforce knowledge by correcting mistakes, affirming competence, or debunking misconceptions on the topic. The more frequent and consistently you provide feedback, the better, especially if a learner is able to implement their learning and feedback into real-life applications at work. Take the time to provide learners with information on exactly what they did well and what may still need improvement. It can also be helpful to note what a learner is doing differently than before. The importance of involving learners in the process of collecting and analyzing performance-based data can help them to develop an awareness of their learning and more easily be able to recognize mistakes and even eventually develop strategies for tackling weak points themselves. Another way to engage graduate students is to seek student voice. One of the best ways to keep students engaged is collecting direct feedback regularly. Student engagement polls and surveys help you to get to know your students, how they really feel, what their needs and struggles are, and what they want to learn more about. These crucial insights help empower you to act quickly and address issues right away, as well as to optimize ongoing programming efforts. It is critically important for institutions to maintain a personal touch with their adult students in order to retain them to graduation. This can be done in a number of ways, focusing around the term involvement. First is the use of classroom involvement. Incorporate presentation and teaching skills into the course. Integrate research and publications. Involve graduate students in developing the course goals and design and assessing their learning to meet course goals and objectives. The second is student-faculty involvement. Faculty engagement can enhance student retention and persistence. Students who engage with faculty and staff at the university are more likely to persist to graduation. Faculty and staff approachability through providing adequate contact information, office hours, and other opportunities for interaction can greatly impact whether a student feels comfortable contacting a professor or advisor. The last is the quality of involvement. Encourage graduate students to become members of professional organizations and participate in conferences where they can demonstrate their understanding of material, and present any research findings to peers. These opportunities allow for students to network with other peers and experts in their field. By utilizing some of these engagement and retention strategies in your courses or department, you are likely to have more students matriculate through graduate coursework and become successful leaders in their career fields.